Hello and welcome to Filled with His Love. Well, we are actually back home, really back home, back in Provo with this beautiful summer mornings, very dry air, wide streets, huge parking places, and a sense of peacefulness. No palm trees, way fewer birds. Sometimes in Tahiti, I thought we were being surrounded with thousands of birds in the morning. It was amazing, almost like a giant swarm of bees. People ask, what's it like to be home? Well, of course, it's great. We're back in the bosom of family. Before leaving Tahiti and even after returning home after our 18-month mission, many ask us, so are you going to put your papers in for another mission? My impulsive response, which I don't voice, is, are you kidding? We're lucky to have made it out alive from this mission. But then, after I reflect for a moment, I see that people are just showing lots of confidence in us, that even though we're in our late 70s, we can serve full-time missions indefinitely. So they're really just being nice. One thing a mission does is give us purpose. During our 18 months in Tahiti, we never had to worry about what we would do on a given day. Always lots of tasks, sometimes unpredictable, but always full. Sometimes we were stretched to the max because of all the unforeseen needs of missionaries. Lots of focus. As they say in French, raison d'être. We had a clear reason for being, which really means a reason to live, a reason to wake up in the morning and greet a new day. Purpose in life brings meaning to life, a reason to live. We know that the Lord preserves leaders so they can accomplish His work on the earth. Think of the current First Presidency. They hold the record for the oldest average age of a First Presidency in the history of the Church, 93.3 years. The average is helped, of course, since President Nelson is approaching his 101st birthday. But his counselors are also over 90. There's no question that divine assistance helps. Medical care helps. Genes help. But I want to suggest another factor that I think is also very important. Their raison d'être. So, their reason for being. They do not worry each day about what they will do. Their schedules are often packed to the brim. Not only do they have lots to do, but their responsibilities affect 17 million members of the church around the world. Talk about a purpose-driven life. They have it. I attended a retirement reception this past week for a fellow BYU faculty member. He worked until he was nearly 85 years old. That's right, he could have retired 20 years ago. Why, you might ask, would someone work that long at a full-time job when he could have retired much earlier? Simple answer for me, his work gave him a clear purpose, a clear reason for being. I also talked with a friend who is a physician at the local hospital. He's in his late 70s, and again, he keeps working. He has not retired. I asked him about his reasons for holding on so long. He said, I'm really having a hard time leaving. It's natural. He loves his work. He saves lives. He helps others heal. He's needed. He has purpose. He doesn't want to lose that. I'm not sure if you've heard of the concept of ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese word that relates to this very topic. People who have a strong sense of ikigai, the saying goes, live longer, happier, more fulfilling lives. What does this word mean? A reason for living. We're right back where we started from with the French phrase raison d'être. Those who feel a keen sense of purpose live longer. That may be one reason those in Okinawa, Japan, have such amazing longevity. And it truly is amazing. There are about 10 times as many centenarians in Okinawa compared to the world average. Obviously, diet, lifestyle, emphasis on relationships, all these things play a part in the longevity there in Okinawa. But ikigai likely also plays a part. When you feel you have a reason to live, you simply live longer. Here's a quote from a recent study on longevity. Quote, researchers suggest several ways in which a strong sense of purpose may promote longevity. First, healthier behaviors. Purposeful individuals are more likely to engage in preventive health measures, maintain physical activity, and adhere to medical advice. Number two, stress reduction. A clear life purpose can buffer against stress, leading to lower levels of stress hormones and reduced inflammation. Third, enhanced resilience. Having goals and a sense of direction may improve coping mechanisms during challenging times. So all of this leads to the question, how strong is your own sense of purpose? And if you don't feel a strong sense of purpose, what to do about it? This is where, in my view, we need to accept that our sense of purpose eventually comes from God. The closer we draw to the Lord, the clearer our sense of purpose becomes. He knows us. He knows our strengths and weaknesses. He has the power to help us overcome our weaknesses and to build on our strengths. When we feel divine guidance helping us chart our own path forward, our sense of purpose deepens. When Lolly and I were serving our mission, we had a clear sense of purpose. Missionaries depended on us. Mission leaders depended on us. We had to perform. We had to respond to lots of questions, requests, and sometimes even pleas for help. It didn't matter that the requests were often matter-of-fact, everyday needs. When someone needed a new wastebasket or plunger or dryer, they knew who to call. Me. When they felt sick, they knew who to call. Lolly. Our role was not lofty. We were not asked to develop a new program that missionaries would implement worldwide. Just down-to-earth, everyday needs. And yet, because the missionaries' needs were real, no matter how simple they might be, fulfilling their requests, helping them solve their problems, felt lofty because all we did was heaven-driven. Last year, there was so much civil unrest in New Caledonia that the church had to ask all missionaries there to leave the island. 12 of those missionaries were Tahitians, and they were asked to return to their homeland to finish their missions. Their exit from the island was not pleasant. They had no food to eat for an entire day before their departure, and then when they boarded this was a military plane, not soft seats, for a 4-hour flight, but again, no food on the plane. Lolly and I were asked to purchase breakfast foods for them so they would be able to eat upon their arrival in Tahiti. While we were buying the food, I didn't think much of it. We had purchased a lot of food from missionaries before, lot of food. We had no idea they'd had to go without food for so long. We didn't know that until they arrived. They sat down at the tables, and we gave them the food. And I'm telling you, I have never seen anyone eat that much in my life. They were definitely making up for temporary famine that they had just experienced. Following the meal, I said to Lolly, it's kind of strange, but that was, for me, like a spiritual experience. They were starved, and we fed them. I mean, it made me think of in Matthew, I was an hungered, and you gave me meat. I was athirst, and you gave me drink. It was a simple act, not a lofty act, but it was heaven-driven. We had been called by God to do it. I keep asking myself, how many such acts await us? Await Lolly and me, and perhaps await you in your regular, everyday life. How can we continue to make our life heaven-driven? I hope you'll consider asking yourself those questions. I'm going to ask myself those questions as we readjust to being back home in Provo. Hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you next time.